Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Regan Thompson, and today we are here at Syndicate store to talk about the new NATIVE Scooters Canopy Complete. So this video is just intended to give you a quick overview and some of the specifications in case you're considering buying one. But before I do that, I'll just give you a quick little introduction about the scooter. And full disclosure, apart from being the owner of Syndicate store, I'm also the owner of NATIVE Scooters. So if it seems like I'm a little bit biased about this complete scooter, it's because I am. So basically, with the Canopy Complete, it was created a little bit in contrast to NATIVE's very popular STEM Complete, which is the beginner street complete that we created in 2019, which went on to be the best-selling beginner street complete scooter. So the contrast with this one is that we went into this with the idea of, can we make the most advanced expert level street complete scooter? That was the philosophy that we had when we were picking the parts that would make up this complete scooter. And now I'll take you through those parts. I don't really want to move this perfectly positioned scooter here, so I've gotten a pair of bars off one of the black scooters just to start at the top. As we do with a scooter check, we have the NATIVE Scooters Emblem grips. So the thing about the Emblem grips are they are 180 millimeters long, which is the preferred size by a lot of our team riders. And with this grip, we developed a special compound that feels soft when you first ride it. So a lot of grips start off really hard, and the first couple rides, even the first week or two, is actually pretty annoying when the grips are really hard, and we didn't want to do that. We believe that a grip should, as you put it on the bar, the first ride, it should feel really good. So that's what we've done with the Emblem grip. It's a softer compound that doesn't need to be worn in. It feels good straight away. It rides as if the grips are already worn in. Moving on to what is one of the most notable features of the Canopy Complete is the Aria T-bars that we've chosen to take from our premium line of parts and include in this boxed complete. And the reason these bars are so premium is because they're made of a vacuum heat-treated double and triple buttered 4130 chromoly tube. So it's a bit of a mouthful, but basically what it means is at this part of the handlebar, the tube is actually thinner because towards the end they don't really need to be as thick as they need to be in the middle. So it goes from thin to thick and then back to thin. And what that does is it makes it really strong in the middle where it needs to be, because you can have it thicker than it usually is, and it goes even thinner than it usually is on the sides. And this top tube, NATIVE has been using since back in the day of the TriCast bar, and it has proven to be insanely strong. Like very few cases ever of someone bending one, and if they did, it was never from actually riding. It was from abusing their scooter or falling from a big height onto the handlebars. So over more than 5 years, it has proven to be the strongest top tube that we've ever developed and used in a scooter bar. And what's extra special is it's also in the down tube. So the down tube up here is extra thick where it welds to here so that it's very strong at the top, and then it goes thin in the middle and it goes back out to thick when you get to the bottom where it goes into the clamp. And what that means again is just that it's really strong where it needs to be, and then it can be lighter in the middle and go back to being strong up here. So once again, it goes from thin to thick, back to thin, and then from here it goes from thick to thin and back to thick. So what that does is it just allows us to make the bar extra strong and insanely light. I'm going to move on to the next most notable feature of the Canopy Complete, which is the Advent Refined deck. So this deck, I think at the time it was developed over like a 1.5 to even 2-year process. We put a lot of man hours and just a lot of testing into developing the Advent Refined deck. And this deck became by far the most preferred deck of any of our riders, any of our team riders on Syndicate, any of our team riders on NATIVE, one of the best-selling street decks in the whole world. It became very popular very quickly, And the reason is it is just super light and very well balanced, especially for the larger size that it offers. So the width that it comes in is 6.25 inches, and the length that it comes in on the Canopy Complete is either 22 inches long or 23 inches long. So the reason we've gone with that specific size, again, is, like I was saying, the philosophy when creating this Complete was, what is the best expert level street Complete that we could make? And all of our expert street riders for so long preferred 6.25 inches wide by either 22 inches long or 23 inches long. So we're not trying to make the scooter for what we think the market might want. We're making the scooter based off what we know expert street riders prefer. The deck has an 83-degree head tube angle. It's got a very nicely machined crook groove that makes crooks an absolute dream. And it has a fully square front, which gives you a lot of balance when sitting in blunts or nose grinds if you can pull them off. And because of the way this deck is made, it is one of the few decks that you can pull that grind off on. And when you go down the back, you'll see that it's got Native signature cylindrical deckhands that are infinitely rotatable. So for as long as you have it, you can just keep rotating them a little tiny bit as you start to wear them down. And what these cylindrical deckhands are amazing for is 5.0s, and Native is still one of the only companies to do this style deckhand where when you're up on the 5.0 you're fully on the actual deckhand and not part deckhand, part deck extrusion and stuff. So it's just a really buttery, nice slide. The deck also features this special nylon brake, which we designed a lot with the input and help from Kevin Austin. And this brake comes with two different sets of spacers inside it that allow you to pop them off, so that if you have a 110mm wheel in here, you can put more risers or lowerers on the brake to bring the brake closer to the wheel. And then if you have up to 125mm wheels on it, you can lift the brake up that little bit so that it's not bottoming out on it. So the reason for that was, when you make a brake that fits 125mm wheels and then only put 110mm wheels in there, it looks a little bit weird there being such a big gap. So that's just one of those little bits of extra attention to detail that we place into these products when we're creating them to make sure that it's gonna obviously ride amazingly, but also look amazing. The next big notable feature that makes this Complete an expert premium level street Complete is the use of the Native Scooters profile wheels. So that is a new wheel that we developed and spent a lot of time making it and testing it to get a really fast wheel that still had a bit of squishiness and softness and grip to it. Because a lot of the time with premium wheels, to get really fast, the urethane gets really hard, and as the urethane gets harder, it gets a bit slipperier. And if you want to be riding at a technical high level, you don't want to be fearing slipping out. So we wanted the wheels to be super fast, but still have that grip element to them. So still have that traction, so you can really trust them when you need to. And the way that we did that was by reimagining the way that we actually manufacture the core of the wheel, giving it a nice big dip in the profile, which allows us to get more urethane in there. So that way we can still use a nice, hard, fast urethane, but we use more of it so that there is more rebound, so that it still has that slightly softer, grippy element to it. So that goes over the main features: the Emblem grips, the Aria bars, the Advent refined deck, and the profile wheels. Those are all the expert premium level products that kind of make up this street Complete scooter. And the reason I left these other parts off mentioning until now is because the SCS, the headset, and the forks that we have on this scooter are the same as from the stem Complete. And I'll just explain that. When it came time to pick which parts would go on the Canopy Complete, with the idea of it's still needing to be affordable. We wanted this boxed scooter to not be $800, $900 like it normally would be if you bought all of our high-end premium parts in one package. We wanted it to still be affordable, so we opted to use the stem SCS, the stem fork, and the stem headset in this package. But with that being said, I will say I can think back to a period not very long ago at all where Kevin Austin, who is a tall rider, riding a lot, filming a lot of clips, and he rode a stem fork and a stem SCS, the same one, for like a 2-year period. No problems, no complaints, absolutely loved it. And he was the one that actually asked us to develop the Orca SL, which is our high-end premium undersized SCS. So the reason I mention that is because, like I keep saying, the philosophy of having an expert level street complete scooter that an expert professional rider would fully normally use, this is that. Other than the river wheels, exactly what he would have been riding for a long period of time. So even though this SCS and fork is off our beginner street complete, I just wanted to clarify that it has been for multiple team riders the preferred combination of SCS and fork, and has more than held up for professional expert level street riders. The Canopy Complete comes in a raw version with this really cool stone washed finish, and it also comes in this totally matte black version as well. And it comes in 2 sizes, which is medium and large. The large has 28-inch tall bars and the 23 long deck, and the medium has 26.5-inch tall bars with the 22 long deck. And the large one weighs 4.3 kilograms, where the medium one weighs 4.2 kilograms, which is, by the way, insanely light for how strong and how large this model of scooter is. So there you have it. That is an overview and some specifications on the NATIVE Scooters Canopy Complete. I hope this video has been helpful and informative to you. I hope it helps you in making your decision for purchasing a new complete scooter. In case you can't tell, I am insanely passionate about this stuff. I've made it my life's work to create and sell and ride these scooters. So if you do choose to purchase this scooter and purchase it from Syndicate store, I will be eternally grateful to you. It would mean the absolute world to me. And if you do look at the Canopy Complete and think, oh, that is a bit much for me, that's a bit too expensive, and it's a bit too, expert level, then I would say check out the NATIVE Scooters Stem Complete, because the NATIVE Scooters Stem Complete was made for beginner street riders. So at that younger age, smaller height, not as heavy, not as hard riding, just getting into street riding and wanting to check out that world. Whereas this one is made for people who are well and truly into the street riding and want to push to that expert level and have a scooter that is going to hold up for that. Thank you for watching, and as always, thank you for supporting Rider Owned by shopping at Syndicate store. Until next time, peace.